What's good? SAPdude here. Welcome to another video. Let's start with a small reality check. If you open LinkedIn today, what do you see? Predictive maintenance, prescriptive maintenance, AI-driven asset intelligence, advices to put sensors everywhere, digital twins saving the planet. And the comments? Great insights, game changer, revolutionizing asset management. Come on, a lot of it is AI generated noise. In general, LinkedIn is now overflooded with AI generated graphics, misspelled things. It's a total mess in my opinion. What do you think about it? And sometimes, honestly, it's shared by managers who clearly don't understand the mechanics behind maintenance execution. Maybe they are too busy, maybe they didn't review the content properly, or maybe they just follow trends. And in the meantime, real experts try to share great insights also on the same platform. That sucks. Now let's have some reality check. Predictive maintenance will not replace traditional maintenance strategies, not because it's impossible, but because in many cases it doesn't make economic sense. Even if you had unlimited budget, you don't install vibration sensors on light bulbs, you don't build machine learning models for office chairs. Maintenance is not about hype, it's about cost-risk balance. And that's where we go now. We got different strategies in maintenance. The most traditional one, reactive maintenance, run to failure. Reactive means we do nothing until the asset fails. It stops working, it breaks down. Then we fix it. Example, light bulb. You don't replace it every 6 months if it still works. You run it until it dies. That is reactive maintenance, and it is perfectly valid for cheap components, non-critical assets, easy replacements. Reactive ain't stupid, it's economical when the risk is low. Corrective maintenance, fixing a detected defect. Now here comes the nuance. Corrective maintenance means you detected something wrong and you fix it. Important, the asset does not have to be fully failed. Example, during inspection you find loose bolts, oil leakage, increased vibration. Machine still runs, but something is degraded. You inform the maintenance team, they plan the work, they fix the problem. That is corrective. Now here is the key. Reactive is a subset of corrective. Failure happened, corrective action. Defect detected before failure, also corrective action. The difference is the trigger. Failure reactive, defect detection corrective. In SAP, technically you use the same objects. Strategically, they are different. Preventive maintenance, acting before defects appear. Now we move to structured planning. Preventive means we act before we see a problem. Not because something is wrong, but because statistics and experience tell us it will degrade. Two major types. Time-based preventive maintenance, example, oil change every 12 months, inspection every 3 months. Performance-based preventive maintenance, instead of time we use usage. Example, oil change every 10,000 km, filter replacement every 5,000 operating hours. This is where we use so-called PMs, preventive plans, where we generate orders and stuff. Condition-based maintenance. Now we move one level higher. Condition-based means we monitor asset condition, vibration, temperature, pressure, oil analysis. When condition exceeds threshold, action triggered. This is not predictive, this is rule-based. If value X, then create notification. It's deterministic. Still structured, still manageable, and very powerful when applied correctly. Predictive maintenance, now the LinkedIn superstar. Predictive maintenance means we use statistical models or AI to estimate failure probability. Not just thresholds, but patterns, trends, correlations. Sounds impressive. And it can be, but here is the reality. Predictive only makes sense when asset is highly critical, downtime cost is massive, data quality is good, historical data exists. Otherwise, preventive is cheaper, simpler, more robust. Predictive does not replace preventive. It optimizes it for selected assets. Prescriptive maintenance, the most advanced concept. System doesn't just predict failure, but it tells you what to do, when to do it, and possibly even optimizes resources. In real industrial SAP projects, rare, very rare. With that introduction, let's jump into PM, Preventive Maintenance. We start with the business case. This machine right here is a combination brake lathe. It's used to resurface brake discs and brake drums. When a customer comes in with warped or uneven brake discs, we don't automatically replace them. We machine them. We restore flatness. We restore braking performance. This machine protects the Texas workshop's margins. It reduces unnecessary spare part cost. It shortens repair lead time. And most importantly, it protects customer safety. Because braking performance is not cosmetic, it's critical. What is inside this machine? Inside this brake lathe, high-speed spindle, precision cutting head, tool holders, guideways, calibration system, lubrication system. This is controlled rotational machining. If alignment is slightly off, if bearings degrade, if vibration increases, the surface finish of the brake discs changes. And that is dangerous. Spindle bearings don't fail instantly. At first, slight vibration, slight noise, slight temperature increase. The machine still operates. Brake discs are still machined, but surface precision slowly degrades. You might see micro ridges, uneven surface finish, slight thickness variation. The mechanic compensates manually, cuts slower, adjusts pressure, but that's symptom, not a solution. Then one day, bearing failure or calibration drift beyond tolerance. Now you don't just stop machining, you risk damaging customer brake discs, you risk rework, you risk liability. Downtime multiplies, cost increases, reputation suffers. Currently, maintenance is reactive. If something sounds wrong, someone checks it. If vibration increases, someone tightens something. Lubrication done from time to time. Calibration when someone remembers. This is not strategy. This is hope. And hope is not a maintenance strategy. Together with the Texas Workshop maintenance team, we define structured preventive maintenance. Every 3 months, check spindle bearing temperature, inspect vibration level manually, verify cutting head alignment, inspect lubrication system, clean and inspect guideways, verify calibration accuracy. Documented, standardized, repeatable, no guessing. Why not predictive? Could we install continuous vibration sensors? Yes. Could we stream real-time data into a predictive model? Technically, yes. Does it make economic sense for this workshop? No. The cost of advanced monitoring would exceed the financial risk. Preventive maintenance is sufficient, and sufficient is optimal. Now we take this real operational requirement and translate it into SAP. Because if SAP is configured incorrectly, orders generate at the wrong time, planners lose trust, maintenance becomes checkbox exercise. And that's exactly what we avoid. We can finally jump to SAP. The lathe is reflected in the system, of course, as an equipment. It's installed in this area, so of course, functional location. Additionally, we also keep small classification inside. You remember I mentioned something about small PM checklist. Without it, we cannot make it happen. So we got this class, Type 002 equipment. It could be just a shell without any characteristics, but for this one we also maintain spec like spindle max RPM, bearing type, lubrication type, cooling system type, and backlash tolerance. Why? Because later we can reference these characteristics in inspection logic. We can structure checklist fields, we can enable dynamic behavior. Without classification, your checklist becomes static text. With classification, it becomes structured data. Next thing, measuring points. We want to track spindle temperature, vibration level, operating hours level. We will not use sensors to fetch it automatically as we discussed, but anyway, let's at least enable manual possibility. Then in the future, if this is really the case, Texas Workshop can use these points for real, condition-based maintenance. It's time to create the maintenance task list. We will of course create a general task list so it can be reused later for other assets. Task, operations, first one inspect spindle bearing condition, then check lubrication system, clean guideways and verify movement, measure backlash tolerance, inspect cooling pump and flow. We assign the right crew, also the planned time. And since we want the PM checklists and we decided to go with EAM Inspection Checklists, we will do one extra thing. We will add one extra operation and call it PM Checklist, Measurement and Verification. We want to avoid that we have single checks spread across different operations. Why? Of course it's possible, but it's not scalable and would require more effort from master data setup perspective. Instead, in the last operation, technician is informed now is the time to record the results and he or she will do it there. What we gotta do is select checklist type for this operation. And let's also select the execution stage as post-execution. Then folks could use it as selection criteria once they got more PMs and more tasks to perform. Now we are good. I will stop here for 20 seconds. What we are doing here, we are using EAM inspection checklists. If this solution is new to you, there is plenty of materials which I published on YouTube and my blog where you can check how to configure it and so on. And if you want to master all the possibilities of implementing PM checklists in SAP, including BTP dynamic forms, I leave a link to ultimate materials in the description of this video. Coming back to SAP steps, we jump now to QM space. It's time to create the inspection plan for these two maintenance tasks: measure backlash tolerance and inspection of cooling pump and flow. So these will be quantitative characteristics. Let's add them like this. We also set up the limits. Then we jump to the classification of this inspection plan, making sure the checklist type is linked with the one which we got in the maintenance task list. And now we will also define what machine with what spec is this PM checklist for. I also assign a material which Texas Workshop prepared before. Finally, we jump to maintenance plan, where we will spend some time. We select the lathe machine, add the task list, set up order type and other stuff. This is simple. And now we jump to the scheduling parameters. You may think they are simple, but the reality is most of the people mix them, do not understand how they work. So let's do it together. Back in the days on SAP Community blog, I published an article about scheduling parameters. You can still find it there. Recently, I decided to make one step further and provide myself, my colleagues, a tool which can be used during workshops, trainings, client meetings. Since you are my colleague as well, you can use it whenever you want. Yes, it's for free. What you see now is a wizard which asks you questions about your PMs. The difference is, questions are in human language, not SAP language which client does not get at all. So, let's do it. I open the PM simulator by SAPdude. First question, what is the frequency of this PM? It is 3 months. Okay. Has this PM been performed before? No, Texas Workshop never done PMs for this asset, even on paper outside of SAP, so we mark no. What should be the due date of the first PM? So the first PM should be completed by the 1st of April 2026. Next. Now questions regarding generation of PMs. How much time has to pass before PM gets generated in SAP? And here we see the explanation, how much time of the given frequency has to pass before work order is generated. And it can be in percentage or days. So I want to see the PM 1 month before the due date. So 2 months gotta pass, and 2 months of the frequency, which is 90 days, is around 66%. Should the previous PM get closed before a new one gets generated? Yes. Next. PM dates. What should be the length of PM's overview list? I want to have the overview, the simulation for 2 years. Due date of the next PM fixed the same day as the previous PM. Okay. If the previous PM was finished earlier or later than due date, should the due date of the next PM be updated? I know you know what parameter is behind it. If we click yes, then we define here the details for early and late completion. But in Texas Workshop, they don't want this shifting. We click simulate. And this is it. After the input, we got the translated scheduling parameters in SAP. Maintenance cycle 3 months, start of cycle, call horizon, completion requirement, and so on. We also see a preview, a simulation of PM calls. Of course, this is only a simulation, and since we require completion of a previous work order, next orders will not be called before, right? And we see the overview for 2 years as we asked. If we click parameter name, it will give us a short description what it does. So what now? Now we take these parameters and put them into our maintenance plan in SAP. Cycle, start of cycle, okay, done. Now we schedule the plan and let's see if the PM simulator was correct. The first PM, due date 1st of April 2026, exactly like the Texas Workshop requested. The order is there, we quickly check it, release, dispatch, and we see it can be processed by a technician. Tasks inside, here we have the inspection checklist as well. Everything works as expected. Before we finish, few comments. So again, we will never get rid of reactive, corrective, or preventive maintenance. Good, solid understanding of these strategies, mastering them is the prerequisite to go into predictive mindset. In this video, I showed you so-called single cycle preventive maintenance. You can also have more complex, strategy-based plans, for example. I hope this video helped you to better understand PMs. I encourage you to leave a like, comment, subscribe the channel. Check my other content, and if you are ready to master PM checklists in SAP or the EAM module in general, I got ultimate knowledge for you linked in the description of this video. Cheers!